Welcome to the video podcast. My name is Florence Straka. This video podcast is all about blogging as a business, life experiences, inspiration, and mindset. So today's episode, we are going to talk about my childhood. The first time that I ran away from home. That's what I want to talk about today. It's one of those things, when you look back to your life and see the things that you've gone through to where you are now, you will say it's grace. It is grace, that we are alive to be here today. So I want to touch on that. So it all happened. One day, just as I said, I was still living with my paternal grandmother, the wicked grandmother. I was living with her. So I went to school. We go to school in the morning. We get up at 4, do all the house chores. And then after that, you have to be school at 7:38. So I dress up as I usually go every single day throughout the week, Monday to Friday. One day I went to school and I just decided not to come back home. Because even that day, we did not even eat anything. I went to school hungry. So sometimes when we go to break, some of my schoolmates, young kids, when the other one is eating, you are standing by the other one, asking them to give you something, give them food. Kids, they will give you a little bit, put it in your palm, a little piece of food in your palm, and you eat it. That's what I did. And that day, I just decided not to go back home after school closed. So we have a big market in Accra. It's one of the parts of where we were living. They call this market Malata Market. It's in Accra. Accra New Town. So the Malata Market is a big market, very big, all sort of sellings, everything you can find. So that's where we shop most. Almost every day, that market is busy. And my grandmother also sells at the same market. So we've been going there a lot. So I know that market in and out, every inch of that market. As a child, you roam around things. So I know that market very, very well. And that day I decided not to go home. And where did I decide to go? To that market. Because there, you can just do a near job for them and they'll give you food to eat. There are people selling food. People are selling everything you want. Fish, anything you can find in a market. They sell it there. A huge market. Huge. People travel from all walk of Accra places to come and shop there. So since it's a big place, I know where my grandmother is selling. So I avoided going to that area totally and then went to a different area. So I went there and I was doing scrapping jobs. I was washing plates for people. I said, ma'am, can I come and help you? And sometimes they will insult you because, it's like that. Just get away from here. What are you doing here? Yeah, they will insult you like that and you will run away. And then you go to somebody else. So I keep doing that until finally there was a lady selling, we call it wache, one of rice and beans, but we call it wache. So I said, ma'am, can I come and wash your plates for you? And she said, yes. So I went and washed the plates. After I finished, I cleaned the plates, doing other things, and then she gave me food. She gave me food to eat. Can you imagine that? I was living with a human being. Somebody supposed to be taking care of me as my grandmother, my paternal grandmother. But that morning before I go to school, I have not eaten anything. And that was not the only first time. It's almost every single day. If you are lucky, you get something to drink porridge. If you are not lucky, you go empty stomach to school and come back. So when this woman gave me food to eat, oh my goodness, I ate and ate and ate. And my belly was so full. Oh my goodness, it was so fast. I was like a hungry lion, how you were so hungry and you just found food, you couldn't even wait to eat it. You're just eating. That's what I did. And I was so full. The thought of going back home, I could have gone back home after eating, I'll get some beatings, but that I was late coming home. But I just decided not to go back home. And I did not. For 3 days, I was living in the market. Because at night, the whole market is closed. People pack their things, they have their shelters that they pack their wares in there, their produce, everything that they are selling. They have a little container that they pack everything in. So at night, I'll find a place where it's a little bit space, and I just lay down some cement boxes. Excuse me. There are cement boxes. People, remove things from their boxes. So they are just laying around, and then I just grab those one or two, open them up, and make a bed, lay them down on the floor. And that's what I slept on for 3 days. So I slept on there throughout the night. It was my first time. I was so afraid. And mind you, at that market at night, there are all sorts of things happening. You see people are roaming around. You see like some mentally ill people around. You see some people even take advantage of people. There are men there, raping people, things like that. They are even raping those people who have mental issues because they are not in their self, they are not in their own self to do things for themselves. They are just walking around. These men take advantage of them. You'll be surprised things that people do. And imagine a child like me. I can't tell you what age I was because I didn't, but I remember this. So I was afraid, but just a little space to squeeze myself, and slept till daybreak. And as daybreak, by 3:30, 4 people started coming to the market to get ready to start putting their things out for selling. So at 3:30, you started hearing footsteps. So I woke up and almost 4. And then you can see now, few people, you see 1 or 2 people walking around, unpacking their things, getting their shelters ready to sell. So I woke up 4. I did not take a shower because there's no shower in the market. I didn't know where. There are some shower places that you can just go and pay money and take shower. But I didn't know anything around that there is anything like that. So I did not take a shower. I didn't brush my teeth. I think I found some, we call it pure water. They put water in a sachet, in a plastic bag. They tight it, they sell them. You find them on the roadside when you are driving or taking a taxi or our trotro. It's a bus, we call it trotro. And you take those and you see people carrying those tight water in a plastic selling. So somebody used theirs, they couldn't finish it, they just threw it away. I found one on the floor, which is on the ground, and I took it and I used it to, wash my mouth and things like that, wash my face. And I was still in the school uniform. Because it's a black and white, you really didn't know it's a school uniform. We didn't have a name badge or anything on it. So the day has started for me again. So I started roaming around. It's 6 now, daybreak. So almost the market is getting full again. And then I started roaming again. And I know by this time they are looking for me because I didn't go back home. That was my first time. I knew they were looking for me, but I decided not to. So for 3 days, I was a rogue outside. I was a runaway girl from home. I did. Because when I thought of all the things, and I knew at some point, they are going to find me. And I knew what is going to happen. There's going to be so much beatings. Yes, I knew, but I just couldn't go back. So for that 3 days, I slept in the market 3 days. People fed me because I was doing job. Oh, go and fetch me water. I found that lady. She said, go and fetch me water. Go there. I went. I brought the water. I helped her, cleaning. I mostly go for people who are selling food because I am hungry. I want to eat. So these people, after helping them, they give you food, free food to eat. For 3 days, I did it. And as I mentioned, my grandmother also sells at the same market. So I avoid at all costs all the areas that I think people knew me, that will see me. Because as she works at the market, she spread the news that my granddaughter is missing. So I know people were looking for me. People were on the lookout. So I avoid those areas. But, as fate has it, all things must come to an end, right? So for the 3 days escapade that I was going around eating free food, my belly is full now. I didn't even imagine I can eat that much food and get my belly full, because you eat, but you never eating to get your belly full at home. Never. You just give you a portion, small portion. That's all you eat. What you eat to survive, that's it. But to actually eat to get your belly full, to say, oh my goodness, no, it's never like that. It's not that we don't have the food. My grandmother, she was she's a well-to-do, a little bit well-to-do. There is food. She sells corn, maize. We have food that we can eat fully, but just a little portion. A little portion. They said they were training us. They were making us to be women, to be responsible women. That's what it is. They said they were training us how to train a child to be responsible, to learn how to be capable for themselves, how to take care of themselves. This is what they were training us as a child. Not eating well, not giving us food, keeping us hungry, going to school empty stomach. And those were all the training that they are giving us. I would say sometimes I'm grateful because I've learned so much through that. That has carried me, the conformation, how they transform you, how they mold us to be respectful, how they mold us to be very, very timid. They train in a very timid environment. You cannot speak unless you are spoken to. You cannot, when they are having conversation, you have an idea. You cannot say anything as a child. You cannot. If you mistakenly said a word, well, know that by the time the day is over, you're going to get that beating. A real beating. I'm not talking about slash. A real beating. I still have marks, right? So that was my first run. It's 3 times. So this is just the first one. And I'm telling you, for 3 days, I enjoy life at that market. I enjoy life. So the 3rd day, I don't know what happened. I don't know. One of the friend of my grandmother saw me at the market. A lady sent me to go and fetch water. So I was going, and then the lady said, hey, my name is Naomi. They call me Naomi. Naomi is everything people know for me at home. Florence is just a name, like official name for me. But at home, everybody knows me Naomi. Say, hey, Naomi. They've been looking for you. What are you doing here? I was running. I threw the bucket away and I ran. The lady said, hey, catch that girl. Catch her. So, oh my, I knew I'm doomed. That day I knew I am doomed. And so they caught me. And they brought me back to my grandmother. And she was at the market. I told you she works there. She was at the market. They were all looking for me. And right away, she put everything away. She took me home. And as I'm saying, we walk, it's like maybe a 1 mile walk home. But it's all town. So you don't really see how far it is. So we walk, I think a 1.5 miles home. As we were walking, there was knocks on my head. They were knocking on my head. They were hitting my head. They were slapping me around as a child. Slapping me around, kicking me around all the way home. And just imagine that little one, like from the market to home, 1.5 miles. I was being beaten. I was being knocked on the head. I was being slapped around. Imagine when you get home, what do you think is going to happen? When you get home, all the kicking, all the hitting my head, slapping my back, slapping my face, all that. On the way, people were seeing us. It's not like it's hiding. People were seeing us. You can't say anything. It's your child. You are reprimanding your child. So nobody can say anything, right? All that, all along till we get home. And when we get home, that's where the fun begins. The beatings. Oh my world. It's anything. There is a cane. We have a cane in Ghana. This cane, you can see it in the market. You have it at the schools to reprimand child, but not like actually, just to put some fear in them that I'm going to beat you, behave well. This cane, we have it. And for us, what my grandfather side, my grandmother does is, even my aunties, that's what they do. You buy the cane, you can bend it to make like a little ring. So when you bend it, you put it in water. We have a tank that we pour water in it. So you put it in the water and this cane stays in there for maybe 2-3 days. And when you remove it, oh my word, it becomes very, very flexible. Very flexible. You bend it, it will not break. And this is the whip. This is the whip I know I'm going to get because we've been having it all the time. And I was taken to the living room and it just started. Oh my goodness. The beatings. My whole body is on fire. As a child, I feel the sensation of pain. I mean, you cried to the point where the pain has overcome your whole body. The pain has overcome your whole mind, that it got to a point, even the voice that the yelling, it just subside because the pain is so much. You can't even yell anymore. You can't even yell anymore, cry out anymore. After that was done, what do you think comes next? I don't know, but this is something that I have experienced and people do in my family, my father's side family, which I think is one of the most wicked things you can do for a child. Very, very wicked. I mean, you don't have to kill the person to say maybe this person is bad. This thing that I'm going to share with you, I've never seen it done to any child anywhere except for my father's side of family. My grandmother ground ginger, fresh ginger, because we cook a lot with ginger spices. So we have fresh ginger all the time. Every day we have it. My grandmother ground fresh ginger. She just put it on a stone. We have a little stone that we ground on. She put it on the stone, ground it, roughly. And guess where she put that ginger? In my vagina. Yes. I'm sorry to say this. So this channel is not for kids. This channel is for grown-ups. This channel is for people over 40. I'm sharing this life experience so you can understand. This is not meant for kids. So I'm sharing this so you know how deep the maltreatment has been for me. How deep. Fresh ginger. After all the beatings, after all the pain, after all the yelling, after all that, the final thing that was added to the pain was a fresh, roughly grounded ginger. And she spread it all over my vagina. Ooh, I can still taste that pain. All over, it was all over. She spread it. Can you imagine fresh ginger? Even when you eat fresh ginger, you see the heat. Even just on your tongue, taste it. And I'm talking about they just cut it, big chunk like that, ground it, just bum, just, just chomp, roughly grounded, and took my clothes off, just rub it. To that point, I couldn't even yell. I couldn't even cry out because my heart was all heavy with pain. And that was the final thing she had to do. She did to me. I will leave you here. Think about it. Think about this, that you can put a fresh ginger in a child's VJJ, kids, if you want to use that word, VJJ or vagina, fresh ginger. And that is just the beginning. That is just the beginning. I am sharing this. This is very, very personal. I don't know why I'm sharing, but I want you to see. I'm taking you through a journey so you can see where it all started from me to where I am today. And so everything in my life, I take it with humbleness. I take it that it is a path for me to go through to come out from there to be somewhere else. Nothing that happens in life is just for fun or is for no reason. There is a reason for everything. So just keep that picture in your mind. A child, after all the beatings, the final thing that they have to give me, showing me that they are reprimanding me, showing me that I don't have to do that again. So I will never do that again. But guess what? I did it again because it was just so much harshness, cruel to a child. And I don't know if anybody else as a child have experienced this before. But this is my life experience. This was my childhood experience that I cannot forget. I cannot forget it no matter what. It sticks to my mind, to my brain, to my being. And as I'm telling you this, I feel my fiber in my body feels this. The pain of childhoodness, being maltreated by your own family. I can never understand it, even till today. As I'm a grown woman, a grown responsible woman, I still cannot understand it. And this thing is still going on right now as I'm talking to you right now. It's still going on, and I will tell you, it's still going on. One of my aunties is doing this to her own granddaughter. So I will leave you with this. This video has been a little bit long, and as you hear me today, don't take anything for granted in life. Don't treat kids because they are just kids. Treat them well. Treat them well. Because tomorrow, you don't know where you will be. You don't know where you will need them. You don't know where they will be in their life. Because we are all on our life's journey. We all have something unique within us that when the time comes, it just comes out. And I think it is the time for me to share this, and that's why I'm sharing this with you. So you can see that life is a blessing. It's a blessing. And wherever you are, be grateful. Whatever you are doing, be grateful. Appreciate everything in your life, because people go through a lot of things to be where they are today. If you look behind, you'll be amazed. What? This person has gone through this? So I share this to be some type of inspiration to you, that you take it as it comes. Enjoy the moment, either good or bad. Enjoy the moment. And treat kids, treat children well, whether they are yours, whether they are somebody else's you are taking care of them for. Please take good care of them, because you just don't know where that child will be. Me being here today in your face, in your presence, telling you this about my life experience, I don't know I can do that, but I have it in my heart so heavily that I need to share. I need to share this so it can be inspiration to somebody. So if you are somebody doing this to a child, you must stop right away, because it leaves a permanent damage, a permanent fear to the child, a permanent damage, pain to the child. And it's just me. This is my experience. It has left a permanent pain, damage. Sometimes you have type of hate towards that person. I don't have any more. I don't have that anymore towards them. But I need to share this so you can see how even parents can be so wicked to their kids, or grandparents can be so wicked to their grandchildren. It's there. I have experienced it. Some people are just like that. I don't know what type of a family my father's side family is, but some people are just like that. I don't know if they are destiny. I have no idea, but it is just not human behavior. So, as you go about your day today, think about this and treat all kids well. If this has been some type of inspiration to you, subscribe to the YouTube channel and wherever you listen to your podcast. I will see you tomorrow with my running away the second time. I'll share that with you. I hope this day has seen you in grace and in peace. Everything you do, I hope it goes well for you. Take care. Until next time. Bye.